execution you got to deal with to get through there. It's not trivial execution, to be honest. Especially depending on what weapon you get, could be pretty interesting. But with that, looks like we are underway.
Yeah, don't worry about the execution. Uncle's got this one covered. And we have 20 rupees to start out with out of the house.
No real surprises there. And we now continue on to the escape section. So the uncle will give us one of 7 weapons. Well, 6 now, because if it was a sword, we would have seen it.
Indeed. Let's see which of these 6 will be in store. And it is the bow. A very nice opening item for our runners.
Yeah. To me, the bow is, I think, if I'm a runner, probably my favorite one to see. It's not the fastest one to get out of escape, but it's close, and it means you're not looking for the bow.
Yes, it's nice to have that one off your shopping list so early, for sure. Definitely opens up some possibilities for Eastern Palace, potentially. But if anything else, it's just a very nice luxury to have right out of the chute.
All right. So, we got the first chest coming up. 2 arrows should take out this blue guard. And we've got a sword now, so this now becomes a less intensive exercise. Certainly don't have to worry about keeping your arrows.
Certainly not. Accuracy not going to be a major deal against the rats at this point, for sure. I'm getting deja vu to my seed I raced earlier this morning. There was a sword in that spot as well, so that seems to be a theme for me this day. Very nice. So that's 2 of our starting weapons out of the 7 right from the get-go here for these 2 runners, and that's a very nice convenience. Looks like Jullo having a little bit of difficulty with that green guard. No matter though, onwards through the escape and towards the Zelda's cell.
There has been a time when I've seen, I think, 5 of the 7 in escape.
That sounds like the maximum possible? Well, that's impressive.
I mean, well, in escape, and by that I mean including Uncle's tunnel, Uncle himself, and then the Link's house chest.
Ah, very nice. And we have the small key in the escape sequence in Zelda's cell. And we'll be on our way, taking our standard route back to the sewers and towards the sanctuary, and still looking for that elusive bomb to hopefully get those 3 items in the penultimate room of the escape sequence.
All right, so the ball and chain guard there, he takes 4 arrows to kill. One of my favorite strategies is to pick up a pot and throw it and then shoot 2 arrows. I call it the pot shot strat, and it's my favorite just because I can call it the pot shot strat.
Can't go wrong with a little bit of internal rhyme there, for sure. We'll see here. Both runners exactly equal on rupees, and both lacking the bombs here. Nothing out of the green guards as of yet, besides 20 rupees and some magic. But yeah, we'll see here if the bomb continues to evade, or we're going to have to search some rodents for those explosives.
Now, this was a bow seed. So for those of you who are hoping for the elusive sword seed, that was not the case today. Okay, so let's head through the back of escape here. We have the key already. That means the dark escape chest here could be basically anything. But we still haven't seen the map.
Absolutely, and if that remains unchecked, that could lead to a possible skip of the sanctuary chest. Now, we would like to get those 3 chests in the on the left there to confirm that, but yeah, definitely the map still floating out there in the pool somewhere, and it's not there as 50 rupees there in that final sewers chest.
Jullo doing a little extra farming with the bow there on the first few enemies, or the snakes, words. I don't know how to words. It's interesting that someone killed that rat and then didn't stop to see if it dropped anything.
Well, unless we get a lucky drop here in the immediate future, it looks like bombs are not in the equation for this opening sequence, which may lead to some anxiety from these runners here. Little do they know that it's likely going to be the same on both fronts here, but certainly not the best feeling to leave the escape sequence empty-handed as far as those 3 chests are concerned. Oh,
there
and Jullo gets the
one.
drop.
I was going to say, I think Jullo's going to kill basically everything in this room looking for bombs, and he did. Or he was about to, anyway. Piece of heart, burrito, and 10 arrows.
Meanwhile, an ironic bomb capacity upgrade in the Sanctuary chest.
You know, there was a time when those gave you a bomb. That is no longer the case, but it used to be the case.
Indeed. Looks like someone is going to go ahead and give us a lumberjack check here. We'll see if Jullo follows suit or goes straight into the woods.
All right, so the lumberjack check is big 20.
Don't believe we've had a dungeon check yet from either of our combatants here, and we'll be keeping an eye on that to see which the Light World dungeons have in store here. And it looks like Jullo is foregoing the lumberjack check, going straight towards these 2 Lost World locations, while someone is attacking them from the opposite direction, finding an arrow capacity upgrade in the mushroom position.
But that's a big old quiver sitting there, plus 10. Unfortunately, it's not really something you're that interested in. Someone with these quick skills to dodge the 20 rupees there. Jullo following suit. I'm not sure I'd be skipping that much money this early on, but that being said, you're likely to find some 300s or whatever somewhere in Kakariko Village.
Yeah, I found that interesting that both elected to forego the money. Rupees can come at a premium in the early phases, but both runners electing to go ahead and skip that, both with no bombs after Jullo using the singular bomb in the escape sequence. So both enter Kakariko in the same bomb position.
And pick up 3 in the back of the tavern.
There you go. Perfect.
That is basically why you come in here before purchasing them. But they're going to go ahead and purchase it anyway because they picked up that bomb upgrade. They can actually fit that many bombs in their bag.
Absolutely. So with that slight route deviation, these runners, as far as their money and bomb counts, are literally equivalent right now, with someone just slightly ahead going into the chicken hut here and finding a nickel.
All right, so now we head into the Kakariko well. Just green rupee in the first chest.
Rupees of all colors here, and in addition to that, some bombs, a third blue rupee, and the ether medallion to round out the well.
There we go. So the ether medallion, of course, can be required for either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. That's one of the things that gets randomized in this game.
Absolutely. We've yet to get a light world check, so we don't know exactly how many pendants or crystals are shuffled in the Dark World dungeons. But I would imagine we're going to see that here shortly, as we have a couple of 50 rupee pulls here in the well, along with a Master Sword and a piece of heart. So very nice load out there in Blind's hideout here. And in the back, we have the Mushroom initiating our fetch quests.
There we go. So that's 2 swords. That's 2 horsemen of the apocalypse there. Because we could see some Aghanim action. You're going to need either... so you're going to need the lamp, you're going to need it, and then a sword, and then either another sword or a cape.
Bottle Merchant providing a little love for that 100 rupee payout, and we're going to see someone check the library and the race game here. Let's see what we have sitting on the shelf. It is another piece of heart. And we do get that Light World dungeon check. Green pendant at Eastern Palace, a red pendant at Desert, and a standard crystal at Tower of Hera.
That is, in fact, what I saw myself. That is some sort of hundreds of rupees there on the race game. Someone is going to forego them. I imagine Jullo will probably pick it up. Now, the odds are it's 300, because there's only one 100 drop in the game. But I only saw the last 2 digits.
Same. So is it 3? Is it 1? It is a 3. No, the odds went out.
It was definitely a bow seed. All right, so we've got our first heart container there in the dam. That's a lot of time with no hearts. Normally we see additional hearts by now.
Yeah, it's just been heart pieces thus far up until that heart container there in the dam. So so far not a lot of health to be had right now, which may come into play if they tackle Mini Moldum Cave or make their way towards the Ice Rock Cave with those 2 health damage from those crawling crabs. But we'll see here as someone electing to forego the piece of heart revealed by draining the dam, going straight for Mini Moldum Cave. We'll see what the 5 locations we have here have in store, provided that these Mini Moldorms get dispatched with in short order. And with sword beams, that doesn't seem too difficult.
All right, so another heart container, the flute, a lamp.
The National Weather Service has issued an Aghanim warning for this region.
Make sure that if you see an Aga coming, make sure to take shelter immediately.
Absolutely. Or at least have something that you can reflect an orb with. Someone taking that flute and going to go straight for Kakariko to activate it. Make perfect sense. That opens up Death Mountain access. I'm not sure you want to do that immediately, but it certainly opens up Death Mountain and quick access to a number of spots in the Light World, as Jullo is cleaning out the Mini Moldum Cave as well, and electing not to save and quit immediately. Maybe we're going to see an Ice Rod Cave check before doing so.
Yeah, I feel like going to the Death Mountain might be pretty good, because you actually do have the old man in logic right now because of that lamp.
This is true. So there are 3 locations. Well, you have access to 2, but you can ID 3 at this point, and we'll see where someone elects to go with this flute activated. And while Jullo is making their way towards the Ice Rod Cave, and it looks like someone is just going to use that flute to go right on Jullo's heels here to check the Ice Rod position.
I was going to say, I was going to be like, yeah, getting the flute in there, you might as well just go activate it and then flute to 8, and you're basically right back on track. Ice Rod Cave, just a big 20 today, so that is going to do it for that location. Jullo, of course, going to activate the flute as well.
Let's see where someone elects to go from here.
Yeah, I feel like 1 was going to be it.
Yep, and with the lamp acquired, old man check in logic now, and that's what we're going to see straight off the bat here from someone here. And from there, we'll be able to check Spectacle Rock and at least see what's sitting on there, as well as the contents of the cave, and see if Jullo, after activating their flute, follows a similar trajectory here.
Right. And of course, if this turns out to not be anything, you at least unlock the save and quit point, and it's not that much of a big deal to go over towards Eastern or wherever you're going next. Those are the flippers, though. So, yes, please? Oh,
and someone immediately going to take those flippers and put them... No, actually going to go to Eastern. Spectacle Rock going to be left unknown from someone's point of view. Let's see. Jullo going to go ahead and use the number 2 spot to get this mushroom cleaned out.
I'm not going to lie. That's a very interesting play. I actually kind of like it. You get the flippers and you're like, okay, odds are I got the one thing I was supposed to come up here for. And so we'll go check other locations.
Mushroom, only a piece of heart at the end of that fetch quest line. Meanwhile, we're going to set Sahasrara's garage here. We got 20 rupees, yet another piece of heart, and the mirror.
Ooh, the mirror in Sahasrara's closet. That's an interesting scenario. A lot of times I'll end up skipping that place until I find the mirror because I want to do it from the Dark World, but not going to be possible today.
Indeed not, and someone going right back with that mirror can now actually get up to Tower of Hera and the Spectacle Rock position. Meanwhile, Jullo fluted to the Desert Palace location. We saw, I believe, a piece of heart at the Desert Palace ledge. Agnes Cave revealing yet another big 20.
I'm not sure if it's faster to walk out of Agnes Cave or save and quit.
I've been told it's faster to save quit, but
I mean, depending on where you're going.
6 of one, half of a dozen of the other, I'm sure. Now, interesting note here, with the flippers being provided by the old man, Jullo will have the money to pay off King Zora, having gotten the payout from the race. So we'll see if that comes into play here. Now, Jullo will first need to collect those flippers, and that has not been the case thus far, as Jullo is electing to go ahead and go the Eastern Palace route. While someone using that mirror access to rush the Tower of Hera now, with a fire source, would be able to get the big key out of the basement if that's what the seed has in store.
The fact that someone skipped that race game also kind of informs his decision about not using the flippers immediately, because he's like, well, you know, I skipped the race game, so I might as well skip Zora and hope it's nothing. Then I'll get a time boost there.
Indeed. So Jullo gonna go ahead and make the dive into Eastern Palace here. With the bow, would be able to clear it. Now, it is the green pendant, so we'll see if Jullo elects to go ahead and clear this. And with the lamp, too. So for all of Eastern Palace in complete logic right now.
Absolutely. And the green pendant, of course, you can walk right outside and turn that sucker in after you're done.
Very well executed bomb jump there from someone to get that big 20 out of the big chest. And I believe there is still one item left to be found, either in the basement or as a reward for defeating Moldorm. Meanwhile, Jullo getting the Eastern Palace big key in the first location.
All right, and someone getting rejected by Trolldorm. But a quick 3 spins, and he goes down. This will be crystal number 4, and we've got the Moon Pearl.
Wow, what a payout for someone, making the rush towards Tower of Hera with the mirror and getting a justly rewarded for his pursuits. Meanwhile, Jullo getting the magic cape out of Eastern Palace. Not quite as big of a find, but that is the first item for Jullo. Meanwhile, someone with the Moon Pearl now out of the Tower of Hera.
I am smelling a whole lot of Aga coming off of this seed. The thing with the Moon Pearl is, when you get it, it sometimes makes Aghanim more likely, because that means there's more locations available in the Dark World for the, the gloves and the hammer to be in.
Absolutely, and someone realizing that the mushroom is not going to lead towards a non-Aghanim method of Dark World access, and it looks like someone now going to utilize those flippers to do what they can. Still won't be able to pay Zora's ransom, but we got the hobo, got the waterfall locations, and can ID what's sitting on the island.
All right, so Jullo apparently did not get the perfect Eastern. I love the perfect Eastern, but it's so rare. It's when you get the big key and all 3 items in the first 4 chests, and you just peace out.
Mm-hmm.
Just a piece of heart from our friendly neighborhood hobo.
I gotta say, I love the Boo sprite expression upon that. It looked very nonplussed with that collected piece of heart. Someone fluting right back to the 8th position, gonna jump right back in and presumably warp upwards towards Zora's domain. Gonna get a Lake Hylia Island ID check, of course. And
just a big 20.
Yep, that's there's only like 26 of those, if I recall. It's somewhere in that neighborhood, but a fair amount of them, to be sure. And we're going to see what we have here in the 2 waterfall chests here.
So there were originally 28. I think it went down to 27 when they added the 10 bombs. Anyways, there's a big heart and 50 rupees, so nothing really to write home about.
Just the peace of mind that this corner of the map, as far as those items are concerned, are off the list. And we're going to take a look here and see what we have, at the very least, sitting on the Zora's Ledge, and just some bombs.
All right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of helpful item at Zora, and that will really cause someone some trouble later on if he doesn't get back there with the money.
Meanwhile, Jullo setting up for the quick Armor's Knight's kill, does not get it, gets bumped by one of the knights here, so it's not going to be an ideal Armor's Knight's fight, but still very nicely executed here from Julloninja. I didn't see if... there's the Cane of Samaria. Wow!
That is certainly a find, and on a pendant dungeon boss nonetheless, so that is kind of a, giant troll.
Well, the seed was kind of, with the bow and the lamp, it was kind of gently nudging you towards the direction of Eastern Palace, I suppose. But yeah, only saving grace is that it's the green pendant, and there's likely going to be a full Light World clearance here before resigning to Aghanim here. Big 20 from Sahasrahla for the green pendant, yeah, that is rather rude to put such a key item in such a not often checked spot given the circumstances.
Yep. So Jullo is going to head to pick up the old man now. That's going to give them the flippers. And once you have the flippers, we'll see if Jullo decides to go up to Hera or flute off to check Zora. I think he'll be going up to Hera first. Make one trip out of it,
Yeah, you would that would be the logical sequence of events, but we'll see if Jullo follows through with that here. Meanwhile, someone going through the motions of the Eastern Palace clearance, as we just saw Jullo complete just a few minutes previously. And Jullo on their way upwards towards Spectacle Rock, and as we presume, Tower of Hera.
Yep. I do believe the map and compass were in the next 2 chests here in Eastern, so we won't see much important there. We do know that the remaining items are 10 arrows and that all-important Cane of Samaria, which at this point is going to be required, 100%. Because either Mire or Turtle Rock is guaranteed to be a crystal at this point.
That is indeed true. With only one pendant left to be distributed amongst the 7 Dark World locations, that is definitely one of those 2 will be used. And we're going to get a look now. We have Ice Palace and Thieves Town are your red crystals, and I believe Mire was the remaining pendant?
That is correct. A little trolly considering they got the flute this early. So you may have to go into that pendant mire just to get something you need.
I have some traumatic episodes of that exact sequence, in fact. So that could be in the cards. But only time will tell, as Jullo is going to go ahead and get the big key here from the lobby of Hera and be on their way upwards towards the Moon Pearl.
But once again, the cape, the 2 swords, and the lamp, and the moon pearls, that's giving us some pretty solid Dark World access, but only through Aghanim, which is gross. And unfortunately, the only place it really gives you access to is the Pyramid and Palace of Darkness. Now, Palace of Darkness is a little more open because we have that bow, but the lack of hammer means we can't complete it yet.
Indeed. It looks like Jullo electing to access the big key chest here the standard way, which I can't fault. That is a very risky bomb jump, and if you miss it, that is a lot of time down the drain. So Jullo taking the safe route, and we'll be onwards to Moldorm. Meanwhile, someone is executing a Armos Knight's kill here, and it looks really good so far.
Oh, this is beautiful.
That is exactly how you want it done, and there's the Cane of Samaria for someone, along with the green pendant. And these runners will be effectively second verse same as the first at this point from these 2 runners, just doing them in slightly different orders here as Jullo gets the first spin on Moldorm.
Yeah, that is a good point. Someone could have gone into the Ruby Room there in Eastern Palace if you wanted to farm up some rupees.
Oh, indeed.
But turns out he's not really that concerned. It's 1 item location. How bad could it be? Cough, cough.
Yeah, how bad could it be, indeed.
Looks like someone is, in fact, biting the Aghanim bullet.
We're going to see Jullo go ahead and presumably check all the Lake Hylia locations, and will have the funds to give Zora his due here. Oh no! Someone is.
Right.
We need to get these checks first, and someone without the gloves is going to have to go the long way. Ooh, this does not feel good in someone's position. I can assure you that.
I believe Feels Bad Man is the official emote of this particular moment.
Followed by a couple of not like thises. Yeah, that sounds about right. And really nothing that jaw-dropping to be found here either to put some more PJ salt into this wound.
You are not wrong. All right, Julloninja heading up to Zora. This will be the one thing that we have not seen that we have access to.
Okay, someone going to mirror, and is he going to go straight for Aghanim? It certainly looks to be the case.
No, Ninja got the 3 chests in the back of Escape on the way out. Got 1 bomb right at the end.
Not for lack of trying from someone, though. The bomb was incredibly difficult to get to, and Jullo just doing that little bit extra farming and got that bomb. But here we go. Jullo about to reveal the one thing that is unable to be collected by someone here.
Just a heart container. That confirms that Aghanim is in fact required. Good luck.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but really Aghanim was pretty much already confirmed because they would need,
you could have gotten book.
I suppose. Okay, yeah. But Power Glove and Hammer would have been required to access Dark World from other conventional means. Yeah, it's going to be an Aghanim seed here, and someone is going to get a head start on that.
Yeah, or if you got Hammer, that would have given you access to, like, East Death Mountain and a lot of other things, so...
Fair enough.
Some items that could have gotten you more locations. But yeah, you're certainly not looking for Dark World access from the one item at that point. Someone making good use of these bow shots here. And we are finally up to the Aghanim floor.
Feel free to get your blue ball predictions in.
I guess it's technically one floor up.
Yeah, well.
All right, so how many unfortunate blue projectiles will we see today? We got some 2s, we got some 4s. If you want to go with the odds, it's always 3.
Not the ideal start.
Oh, the perfect 3 blue balls on the first cycle. This keeps up.
Bask in that Schadenfreude. That's the maximum blue balls thus far. That being a guaranteed reflected shot. Let's see, we have... Okay, not the maximum.
The whole probability reverses and we go back to the average of 3.
No, some of those 3s are the extreme of 3 blue balls followed by 3 nons. So there you go. And that's Aghanim down for someone at 33 minutes, 20 seconds. Let's see what we have now that the Dark World is finally within reach for someone. Now getting their Dark World dungeon check-in at this time.
Right. So we're going to check the Pyramid Ledge, of course. That's the first item that's readily available. It's just a shield. I don't expect them to pick that up. And right now, basically the only thing you can access is Palace of Darkness. If you had a glove, you could go to Catfish. And if you had a hammer, you could go down to Hype Cave. But we have neither.
Indeed. And
if I had to guess what we're going to get, I'd say the hook shot.
that's certainly a likely possibility here. Going to need to find some form of progression or something that leads to said progression here in Pod. With Pod being a crystal, with the bow, you will have access to all the locations except for King Dodongo here, or excuse me, Helmasaur King. Wrong game. Been watching too much
I was
Ocarina
gonna
of
say,
Time.
you've been
Rando.
playing too much Ocarina of Time, Rando. All right, so someone now heading down into pod, first chest. We'll see if it's a key or something else.
Aga down for Jullo at the 35-minute mark.
So someone is going to go ahead and head to the right-hand side over here. It is a little bit out of the way, but you can always mirror back if you don't find the hammer over here.
Indeed. We're really wanting to keep an eye on the two front side items that are not small keys. So let's see what we have in these two locations. You're going to go ahead and bomb the wall here first. That is the second of 4 keys here in the front. There's the third.
Yeah. Now, you can have more than 4 keys in the front, but you can't have less.
Boom,
Ooh,
there's
the
a hammer, and
right
that means
there.
we can, no double dip required here with that hammer. A very apropos collection here out of the Palace of Darkness.
Very, very nice. I was not expecting the hammer.
And that opens up a world of locations now with that hammer. East Death Mountain available, the southern portion of the Dark World, and a litany of options now available to our runners here once they get pod cleared out.
Yep. So we found the big key as the other non-key item up front. And so someone is going to go ahead and do the nice little hammer jump here. And that looks correct to me.
Very nicely executed.
All right, blue mail over in the dark maze. I mean, even our seasoned runners are not going to turn down blue mail, you know?
Absolutely not, especially when they don't have the option of doing so. But certainly a nice luxury to have, for sure. Certainly won't turn down some additional defense here. And we have in the blue rupee room here, we have small key and a red rupee to go along with all the blues.
So that does mean that this, well, okay, we haven't seen this chest yet. Okay, that means the chest in the room below is a small key, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
It's going to go out this way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so ends the routing through Palace of Darkness as someone prepares to head to Helmasaur.
And it will be the compass from the Helmasaur King here. So that's our items. Pretty decent haul with the hammer and a mail upgrade. That is the progression we were looking for. But to get a get some armor to go along with. Certainly nothing to sneeze at here out of pod.
Absolutely. So, hypothetical situation. You finish off Helmasaur. Do you go ahead and be like, save and quit back to the pyramid so you can do the hype cave thing? Or do you go to Death Mountain?
I probably save and quit, do Hype Cave, wrap around, maybe check Stumpy, the Grove Lead, the Mirror, K45, and the Digging Game, and maybe then, if I still come up empty, maybe then go ahead and do the Death Mountain check. That's me, though. I've been eliminated from this bracket, so take my routing thoughts with all the salt in the world.
Are you saying you're salty?
No, actually. I played a really good opponent.
All right, and Julloninja mirroring out from the big chest.
All right, that's a 40-minute, 56-second Helmasaur kill from someone, if we want to get a relative idea of the difference in these two right now, as someone collects their second crystal with pod fully cleared.
Well done. So, next order of business. Someone is walking out. I'm not sure. It's probably faster to walk out. I don't know.
Boy, this feels... it probably is, I would assume. Otherwise, someone likely wouldn't be doing it. But, man, this just feels very... It doesn't feel good, but I will assume someone is making this decision based on the knowledge of the two choices.
All right, so heading over to Hype Cave. We're going to have 5 items here. That is a bottle. That is our first bottle, actually. And the hook shot. And the boots. Bomb upgrade.
And bomb upgrade and a heart container. But otherwise, that was a really hype cave, I gotta say. That's as hype as I've seen it in recent seeds.
I mean, the guy who presented that hype cave didn't really put it together well. You're supposed to, save the best for last, but...
Yeah, end on a high, come on. But, oh well. In any case, someone... Ooh, are we going to get a early swamp dive here?
My God, we have all the swamp things. All the swamp things. Mirror. Hook shot. Okay, I'm done.
Helmasaur down for Jullo as someone is gonna wade through the swamp here with the boots as well. That just makes this all the more less painful as well. That certainly was a Swamp Palace kit out of Hype Cave. Now that someone makes me think of it this way.
All right, so piece of heart in the first chest of swamp. So, Jullo also walking out. So, gonna find that excessively hype cave. I think someone just took all the hype and put it in this seed. I hadn't seen very many actually hype caves recently.
Indeed, there's still going to be plenty of hype to be had whenever we find some gloves for these runners here. But until that point, I'm going to have to go with this rather healthy amount of hype from said cave. Let's see what we have here in the southern spot of swamp here for someone. Just the map.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would want to eat a swamp burrito. Doesn't sound very good. That being said, I just since you mentioned we're looking for glove, I was like, oh right. If you're looking for glove, swamp is actually a pretty good place to look for it. Oh, someone's doing some next level strats here. Or do you just flood the key?
I believe that is in fact what happened there. He got the key from the right here that he's walking by, but the idea would be to go past the switch here and go down that way instead.
And it's still flooded. You have to actually leave the dungeon. You don't have to leave the screen anymore. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
My understanding is that you had to move at least 1 or 2 screens away, but not trying to humble brag here, but it has been a long time since I've flooded the key, so I'm not 100% sure here.
I've done it once in a race, and I think again in a race because I'm bad.
It's one of those mistakes you once or twice, and that's about the lot of it for that one. Someone probably not too pleased of it right now. Hopefully, someone can not let that get in their kitchen, if you will, and just continue on. Someone has been doing really well up to this point, so hopefully this doesn't impact the remainder of their seed here.
That is a phrase I have not heard. To get in one's kitchen. I enjoy it. Alright, someone going to grab the key down here now.
And that certainly opens the door for Jullo to close the gap here that someone had previously enjoyed by having skipped the Zora collection sequence here. Jullo going to be following the exact same path here that someone did. Let's see if Jullo will not be flooding the keys. So that is pretty significant time gain here. Someone's still enjoying a little bit of an advantage at the moment, but that certainly narrows the margin, to be sure.
And of course, since both runners are doing this, if it turns out that Swamp is its usual devoid self, then it won't really hurt either of our runners.
We will see the level of devoidness out of Swamp here as we get the left side here from someone. The left side chest revealing the fire rod. So much for being devoid.
It's just something.
And it comes.
I would have been like destroyed this seed. rod acquired, and with the hook shot also acquired, that'll give him access to Skull Woods. And once we get some gloves, we can finally go into, say, Turtle Rock or places like that. I mean, depending on what the medallion is.
But it certainly brings them one step closer to bringing Turtle Rock into play. We have yet to, we'll need gloves to even get to it, but we're slowly inching our way in that direction. Someone goes ahead and unfloods this portion. Going to check the 2 chests down here and get that bit closer towards Argus.
Quack!
Wait, there's some quack.
And a piece of heart, putting him at 11. And there's a glove. Somebody just rolled this seed to troll me. That's what happened. It's not trolling the runners, it's just trolling me.
Yeah, just be thankful you're only in a spectated position, and don't let your imagination run too wild as far as what the theoretical performance would have been. Someone making a dash into the Argus fight here with the Master Sword. Going to take 2 swipes to take care of each of these puffs, but beyond that, should not be that big of a deal to dispatch Argus here as Jullo finds their first glove here. Very nice double puff kill there from someone.
Yeah, the gloves are in fact progressive, so that if someone for some reason got the other glove first, it would have been the Titan's mitts in that box.
So in trying to get the double fire rod into spin slash cycle, not quite getting it, but Argus down all the same, getting the 10 bomb weapon drop there from Argus, and there's crystal number 3 out of Swamp.
It looks like we may just start clearing these dungeons in, order on our tracker. We may head to Skull Woods next.
All right, we're going to check the southwestern portions of the Dark World here, getting a big 20 tip from Stumpy, and we're about to see what's in the Sacred Grove.
Julloninja deciding not to go to Stumpy and just going directly toward the Village of Outcasts area. He's going to check Sick Kid real fast before we head into the Dark World. That is a boomerang.
Jullo heading the long way around. That's a second dig pull from the digging game for a 50 rupees.
All right, so someone will now be heading to the Dark World as well. Probably going to do that Sick Kid check, I imagine, too. Yep.
Let's see, Jullo going to turn right back around and head straight into Skull Woods with the fire rod. This is perfectly logical, and we are indeed going left to right here as far as our dungeon clearance is concerned. Oh, sorry, someone, you're going to be blocked if you go that way. Yes, go a little bit over. There you go. Julo checking the front side of Skullwoods, getting a small key from that first chest. The bounce house of Skullwoods not going to be required here. Getting a bee in a bottle as item 1 of 2 out of Skullwoods here for Julo.
Bees!
Oh my gosh. Okay, and there's a compass in this location here, and Julo getting that Cane of Samaria equipped for the upcoming room in the towards the backside here.
What's this? A randomizer seed woefully underpopulated by bees? Anyway, sorry.
Nah, I'm not going to no-sell that. Very nice. Okay, we got Julo here. Going to go ahead and get that Cane of Samaria placed. Let's see if we get the second item here in the back. And no, just yet another burrito.
Yeah, but we do have that all-important fire rod, which allows us access to everyone's favorite moth. Crystals 5 and 6 aren't vanilla, though. One of them is Thieves Town. And also, Desert has the wrong color pendant. Yeah, bees have the chance to proc the anaphylaxis debuff.
Nope, need one more key, Julo, and Gibdo is going to be your source of that here. And a couple of swipes and maybe some pokes by the spike there will take care of that. And Julo on their way to Mothula. So trading leads here with some route variations here, but are these runners practically in lockstep with each other here?
All right, so Mothula, I believe at this point, guaranteed to have either the item or the big key which leads to the item. I think the chest in the back is guaranteed to be a small key. Julo enters the moth fight first, but someone finishes it first.
Yeah, Julo needs to be careful.
Ooh, he's got that blue goo.
That's going to be the blue goo expended for Julo. Surely not ideal, but still used when needed, and of course doesn't take another hit upon using it. But good to go ahead and get that done without having taken a very costly death. Getting the Piece of Heart, which will clear out Skullwoods once and for all.
All right, so no reason to spend any more time in here. I imagine our runners will probably head off to the right here, perhaps check the bumper cave, and then they might move on to King's Tomb, Bonk Rocks, Graveyard Ledge. No, we're not checking Bumper Cave. We're just going to Thieves Town. That is certainly a thing.
Item density of the Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town just too alluring to pass up for someone at least. Let's see what we have in the Sea Hut. And it is the red mail. So that's full mail upgrades for someone.
That is something that Julo would have appreciated on that moth fight.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so Julo is heading off to the right, like I thought the runner might. And it's a +5 bomb upgrade on the bumper ledge.
Meanwhile, the red boomerang out of the chess game in the Village of Outcasts here, and someone is going to go ahead and take the dive into Thieves Town post-haste. Still lacking the... No, actually, they do have there. And there's the gloves! There.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, now we've got way too many vanilla items. We've had vanilla, Moon Pearl in its vanilla dungeon, had Hammer in its vanilla dungeon, we've had Titan Mitts in its vanilla dungeon. That's all I'm saying. And then Hookshot was right outside of its vanilla dungeon.
If we wanted to keep the left-right theme going here, we can keep that going if someone were to oblige that little proclivity, but we'll see if someone decides to route differently than that little quirk.
And we are also going to see the King's Tomb check. Ooh, powder. That was the exact same item in the race I commentated this morning. Or this afternoon.
Okay, so it looks like Jullo will be heading right back to the Village of Outcasts, and with not a moment too soon, given what we know is within Thieves Town here.
So Jullo's going to pick up that red mail.
As mentioned previously, probably rather begrudgingly, but still won't scoff at it all the same.
Yeah, I think if you're a really high caliber runner and you see red mail lying around, you might skip it if you're real, if you feel behind. But maybe not.
Yeah, it depends on how out of the way it is, really. But yeah, in a lot of cases, blue mail is more than enough, especially if you're versed in the NMG route, which you're in green mail the entire way. So.
I've done one of those, and I grabbed red mail because I'm a coward.
Your words, not mine. No small key for someone, so big key chest will be ignored here, as blind is guaranteed to not to have that in its possession.
That is correct. In fact, the only chest in the back that can have it is the one that's next to the maiden in the cell. The attic chest, it can't have the small key.
Blind is down for someone here, and there is the map, and that is crystal number 5 for someone here. So at this point, it's a matter of what TR's medallion, and there's that ever so elusive ice rod.
Yeah. Welcome to A Link to the Ice Rod. That's the name of this game. Pretty sure. I mean, we are completing the dungeons, like, in their actual numbered order.
That is pretty much the case here. Now,
with the exception of Desert Palace, which we have not touched. We did Eastern. Well, one of our runners did Eastern before Hera. The other one did them in reverse. And then we did Pod, Swamp, Skullwoods, Thieves Town. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Ice Palace next.
I'm not sure if Meyer's going to get checked prior to Turtle Rock. I guess depending on whether if Turtle Rock is Bombos and Bombos evades our runner, then that might be a possibility. But we'll keep this combo going while we have it. We're going to see the blacksmiths providing a tempered sword, more vanilla for your pleasure.
I mean, seems good. Now, someone does not have the powder, and Jullo does. So if it turns out that the magic bat has something, that could really come back to bite someone. But it looks like someone is actually going that direction. And it makes sense because he did the whole Stumpsman and digging game already.
Right.
The reason he doesn't fake powder is because he's already turned in the mushroom. And you can't fake powder if you don't physically have the mushroom in your possession.
So this purple chest is going to go on a tour. For sure, as someone is going to check Bonk Rocks, get a slight tip for their trebles here, and onward towards onward goes someone, as Jullo is taking care of blind here. The final phase here, blind should be taken care of here in short order.
Yeah. So what I expect Jullo to do after this is go down and first do the digging game, because you can't do it with a follower, and then maybe do the blacksmith purple chest thing, unless Jullo just decides to go for ice, or Dark Death Mountain. Plenty of other options at this point.
Absolutely. It does look like it is going to be the blacksmith chain into purple chest towards into the purple chest chain of items, if you will. Meanwhile, someone is taking this purple chest, going to set it aside before dipping into King's Tomb here.
Yeah, if you don't, the purple chest will kind of gripe at you. It will somehow start talking.
Yeah, King's Tomb isn't somewhere nice, according to the purple chest. Very few things are somewhere nice in the purple chest's opinion, evidently. So with the southern spots already checking for someone going to go ahead and flute straight to and deliver the lunch and get a bomb capacity upgrade.
All right, where are we headed now, someone? We are headed back to 3. Oh yeah, he's going to turn in the powder. Just another bomb upgrade. So, let me tell you what I would be tempted to do if I were one of these runners. I would be tempted to go up to Dark Death Mountain. And the reason for that is I want to know what the medallion is for Turtle Rock.
That's very valuable information, and it looks like someone is in agreement with your play here, and we're going to see East Death Mountain and Turtle Rock and Dark, all of this all cleared in one fell swoop here from someone.
Yep, so many items at this point. We're looking at, 8 in the light world and 6 in the dark world, plus Turtle Rock itself, if you can get in. Oh, well, 7 in the dark world if you count Spike Cave.
Which is certainly possible at this point with the Magic Cape in possession, and someone, I don't expect that to be necessary, but still has the blue potion as well.
Oh, very nicely executed hook speed. Oh my god, it's Bombos.
It is, of course, the 1 out of 3. So no Turtle Rock gambles at the moment for either of these runners. That adds yet another item onto the wish list here to get go mode.
I would not be surprised to see Bombos in Ice Palace. I know this is a little superstitious, but I think there's actually a little bit of statistics behind this. Often, when you're looking for Bombos and you have the Fire Rod, it's an Ice Palace. And when you're looking for the Fire Rod and you have Bombos, it's an Ice Palace.
Come on,
there's the Butter Sword.
Don't kill the pet dream with your statistics. Come on now. But be in the bottle and the gold sword in the Hookshot Cave for someone, and we will see what Death Mountain has in store here in the Paradox Cave as someone makes their descent towards it.
So over on the other side of our screen, we've got Julloninja making the play to the Mire area. This is another bit of a gamble here. Could be something we're looking for. We got a bug net and we got silvers. Well, that is something that someone is unlikely to check at really any point in this race unless you absolutely have to come to Mire.
Depends on how elusive this all these remaining items are, frankly. It may get to the point where they are going to be checking here and yon for Ice Rod or Bombos at this juncture, but we'll see. There's the book.
Bombos!
Wow!
Bombos in Checkerboard Cave.
Jullo does not realize at the moment that how big of a find that is, but will I would assume be finding that out here in the near future as someone attempted to bomb jump, but took an unnecessary or unfortunate rather fall there. I'm going to go ahead and give that another go.
Yeah, so I think both players will end up getting the silver arrows at least.
Yeah, hard to see a scenario where someone checks Checkerboard Cave, but not the Mire Shed, to be sure. Jullo going to go ahead and make the dive to Ice Palace here now. We got Ice Rod in Ice Palace. Oh my goodness.
Yep, so we are, once again, as is tradition, searching for the Ice Rod as our last go mode item.
Where will inevitably be either on Laser Bridge or Mimics. If
Nope!
No? It's
Spiral Cave. Okay.
Hi, ACM. Anyways, Ice Rod in the Spiral Cave. That leaves someone a Bombos medallion away from go mode, while Jullo is going to be looking for Spiral Cave.
Wow. This is just strange. Though I imagine someone is more likely... Well, no, this is pretty close. I don't know how close this is going to be, but it's pretty close. The only problem is Julloninja might end up going up to Turtle Rock and actually going inside without the Ice Rod. It'd be pretty nasty considering it's right next door.
Yeah, I would imagine you'd want to check Spiral Cave first, but maybe that's me being overly conservative. But looks like someone may be making a TR play here.
Well, he can't.
Nope.
He doesn't have Bombos.
Oh yeah, hello, duh.
He is making a Spike Cave play.
That's the play. Yeah, that's totally what I meant. Yeah. Words again. Words are tough.
Yeah. There's this thing called the English language, and even those of us who have been using it our entire lives don't know how to use it.
Honestly, I don't think the English language can bail me out of that one. Anyways, Jullo getting a red rupee out of the Freezor room, taking a dive here, going to hook shot over the blocks here to get the big chest, which reveals the compass.
So at this point, we're not really going to find anything else that's relevant. We might find the cane of Brian.
Someone is getting very warm right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, this seems like a likely play, and he's going for it. Now, the question is, will he try to dive Mire? I doubt it.
That, prior to Checkerboard Cave, that would be bordering on madness.
Now, one thing you might do is dive Desert, because Desert is a fairly quick check.
That, yeah, I can definitely see that, and I can absolutely see that now, as someone appears to be doing exactly that.
No, he's just going for the Desert Ledge, it looks like. And he's going to find that Bombos. That will put him in go mode very shortly.
And being able to go mode the Ice Palace that Jullo is in the process of full clearing and will just go straight to TR. This is a significant lead that someone has just acquired with that Bombos collected.
Yeah, you gotta figure this is basically someone's race to lose now. If you can avoid making any big mistakes, you will come out of this one ahead.
And with red mail, with the gold sword, with silver arrows, and a blue potion still in someone's inventory, it's going to take quite a series of unfortunate events to get Jullo back in this thing.
Did officially enter go mode upon picking up that Bombos medallion in Checkerboard Cave. Julloninja's still going to need to go up to Death Mountain and find the ice rod. It's not in a particularly difficult location, but it is a sort of a one-off when it comes to Death Mountain.
Yeah, luckily for Jullo, I would imagine Jullo may be heading in the general direction of it with all those items in Death Mountain being as they are. But it's all going to come down to, for Jullo's sake anyway, whether Spiral Cave is routed in what order, in what sequence here. Meanwhile, very nice 2-for-1 Stalfos kill there from someone on their way towards, and a very clever use of the bomb. The room scrolling not playing nice to go along with that strat, but very creative use of bombs there to try and get that key ahead of schedule.
And speaking of bombs and or bombos, time to start the cold stare fight today.
And a very nice IPBJ from someone on the second go-round. Very well executed here. And Jullo corralling Cold Stare into the corner, getting some triple slashes there. And with the use of the Fire Rod and some final slashes here, down goes Cold Stare. A very nicely executed fight for Jullo. Getting the 6th of 7 crystals here ahead of someone. But that is definitely not an indication of who is enjoying the advantage at this point, as someone is right on Jullo's heels and is practically done, except for the execution at this point.
Alright, so Jullo heading to purchase some potions, it looks like, as he did, in fact, have to burn one on Moth. And then I think he may be heading off to Turtle Rock. Someone burning his blue potion right now. We did find one of the shields, it's just neither of our runners elected to pick it up. It was on the pyramid.
Indeed. Baby's first shield left to sit there, and someone now with the Ice Palace completed going to make a beeline for Turtle Rock.
No, he left the bee.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so Jullo is going to do the Paradox Cave check. We gotta hope that he will leave the top of Paradox Cave and go to Spiral Cave before trying to go to Turtle Rock. And if that is the case, we will have ourselves a race. We got book, bottle, and shovel. Oh
no!
No.
Oh, I was wondering if we're going to see a bomb jump, but no, Jullo electing to go right down and take this mirror portal.
It does make sense, and he might mirror at the top and go to Spiral Cave first, but it doesn't seem likely.
No, and that's the commentator's knowledge here. This, in many seeds, this is the logical sequence of events here, but of course we know Spiral Cave has exactly what Jullo is in desperate need of at this moment. We're just going to see, and this is just going to extend someone's advantage here as they are entering the Turtle Rock at this point, just looking for some keys at this point and make a dive straight for Trinex.
So Jullo did go ahead and check the item on the floating island, so perhaps Spiral Cave will happen. Took time to mirror to do that. Gets the butter sword. Alright, 2 small keys and a burrito in the front of Turtle Rock, so still no big key. But we may see that in Chomp Room, or it may be in its vanilla location. And Jullo now heading over to Turtle Rock. And I don't think this is going to end well.
Please don't make this play, Jullo. It's tempting, but come on. No.
I mean, it's basically, a priori, it's sort of the correct play in your mind anyway. It's objectively correct given what you know. But unfortunately, you don't know one very important piece of information.
No, you do not. And, yeah, absolutely. I don't want to come off as being, too overly critical here. We have all the knowledge here. But Jullo going to make the play into Turtle Rock. It's only going to lead to a undesirable double dip at this point, while someone is just making their way straight for Trinex, and we'll have the means of dispatching it.
I don't believe for 1 second that Jullo forgot the cave. I'm pretty sure Jullo knows the cave and simply elected not to go there because it's one item versus several.
There is a alternate universe where Ice Rod is in Mimic Cave, and this is absolutely the play to make. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in.
disabled for someone. Now, unfortunately, because someone elected not to check the big chest, he is going to have to go down Laser Bridge. And there is always the possibility that there is no key on Laser Bridge. It's a very unlikely possibility. Yep, there's the one we're looking for, and someone is out. Alright, someone is setting up the ice rod, getting ready for this. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be someone's 7th crystal, so be ready with your guesses for the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. Because that will start as soon as someone picks up the crystal on our screen. So 1 to 22 are the possible guesses. And there we go. So begin the guessing game as it is. There's 22 possible locations, and if you are subscribed to one of the Speed Gaming channels or have donated 250 bits or more, you can be entered in our leaderboard. Otherwise, feel free to play along either way. We will be cutting this off as soon as someone enters Ganon's Tower. That is very, very soon. If you're hearing this, it's probably too late. All right, someone now heading into GT. Right-hand side.
Okay, in chest number 1, small key. Chest number 2, arrow capacity upgrade. And it does appear with the small key, someone is going to elect to check right side.
There was a contestant named Who. All right, so chest number 3 coming up, big 20. Chest number 4, 3 hundo. Chest number 5, piece of heart. Chest number 6, another 3 hundo.
And Ganon is loaded with the rupees. All right, that's there's the key that you want to grab prior to mirroring out, and we'll be onwards towards the left side.
All right, torch time.
What you got, Bob?
I don't know. Big key, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Seems good. That is number 8. 7. 7.
There it
out of
is.
numbers.
There it is.
Number 7.
Hey, my words and your numbers, we'll get there eventually.
Doesn't matter, the person who guessed 8 won anyway. And there we go. So someone is now blazing a trail up Ganon's Tower.
And congratulations to A4, your old dad. being the closest with 8. Luckily, we don't operate on Price is Right rules. So looks like Jullo is going to go ahead and flute away from Death Mountain, and
Oh no!
is just going to go on a big search for some more red herrings. I think the book and the shovel are dissuading at this point in time.
All right, last room of the gauntlet. Making use of some arrow strats here. There we go. And that will do it for that. Someone just bypassing the bunny beam and heading straight to Landmola's. You can deal with these with single silver arrow shots, and someone is taking care of business.
Very nicely executed one cycle with 3 accurately timed silver arrows to the face and onward toward the Wizrobes here, which will be taken out with some similarly well-timed Kana Samaria activations.
I love these Samaria strats rooms. This one's a little trickier to pull off, but doesn't look like it's going to be a problem for someone.
Now, someone is going to need to append their magic, and they do not have the means of doing so at the moment. So hopefully...
There are 2 small magic pots in this room. One is down at the bottom.
This is indeed the case, and they're going to need every last bit of those magic pots here to get this cleared. And it looks like someone will go ahead and get that taken care of here and be moving on. A little bit of a scare there, I'm sure.
I think you'll probably refill here. And then wait on that little stutter so we don't despawn the tower. That seems like a bad idea.
Although someone doesn't know it yet, but even if that were to happen, the lead someone enjoys would support having to do it a second time at this point, much to Jullo's soon-to-be chagrin.
Absolutely.
Holdorm doing its best to try and knock out someone, but someone has other things in mind and will be hookshotting right over and getting the 300 rupees out of the final spot to be checked for someone.
So about Ganon being loaded.
Ganon got that money, got paid, man.
Cash money and such.
Dollar bill, y'all. Onward to Agatu is someone.
A nice double on the first one. This could be pretty good. Up, getting trolled by the blue balls there. And the triple!
Oh, baby, a triple. One more hit will do it for Agatu, and down it goes.
We've got some perpendicular dashes here from someone as we head to the Ganon fight. This should be just about the most trivial Ganon fight I've ever seen in my life.
Meanwhile, I can only empathize with Jullo here, checking everywhere but the place he needs to check. And meanwhile, Ganon is about to go down in relatively short order here with all the ingredients for the quickest Ganon fight you could possibly have for someone.
So yeah, it's actually just really unfortunate that Jullo was actually able to find Bombos first. You know what I mean?
Yep, that just opened the door to the very the temptation of the TR gamble, and that is only to Jullo's detriment. Almost a triple to finish it out, but no matter. Down goes Ganon for someone. That will do it for game 2 of this set. Someone ties the series at 1-1. This will require a third game to decide who will move on to the second round. Someone will finishing with an official SRTV time, 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 43 seconds. GG's to someone325.
Triple is possible. Quadruple is possible, but it's very, very, very precise and probably TAS only. All right, so we will see if we can get someone in here to discuss this thing. Shorshala. All right, someone is now in the setup room, so I'm going to bring him on in. And we would like to welcome someone325, the winner of this race. Congratulations, evening up the series here.
Thank you.
So, can you guess what your opponent's downfall was? Well, I mean,
I was looking at the restream. Looks like he missed Ice Rod.
yeah. Well, the thing is, he found Bombos first, and so he went into Turtle Rock,
Right.
and he checked everything else up here except Spiral Cave and Spike Cave, as he's doing currently.
Yeah, I almost skipped Spiral Cave in favor of like the Bombus Tablet and Spike Cave, but I figured I might as well clear out the whole Dust Mountain area.
Yeah, congratulations, someone, on evening up the series. Now, I would like to see if you could take yourself back about an hour and a half to not getting a bomb drop in the escape sequence, as well as flooding the key in Swamp Palace. Where was your mind at, and did that affect your play, or where were you at mentally speaking after those setbacks? Because I know I would be tilted beyond belief at that point.
Yeah, so I actually didn't find a bomb like 3 races in a row, and 2 of them had required items. So that was annoying. And the key flooding didn't usually happen, and I felt pretty terrible about it until I found a fire rod on the left side, which helped with my routing, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were noting as the seed progressed here that as far as our tracker view is concerned, we were practically going from left to right as far as the dungeons were concerned. Eastern Palace to Hera, although I believe you did those in the reverse. Palace of Darkness, Swamps, Skull, Thieves, Ice, into TR. So the seed certainly worked out to that, and yeah, the fire rod in Ice there certainly led to that progression, and everything just seemed to fall into place from there. That was a very critical find for you in the left side.
Yeah.
So I understand that you had a couple of races back to back here, and I don't believe there was an interview portion for the first race. Am I correct?
Yeah, there wasn't.
Do you have anything you'd like to say about the first one?
First one was a really bad seed for me. Because I checked every location before doing AGA, and then I checked every location until I found Titansmith.
And where were the Titansmiths in that seed?
They were in Catfish.
Oh, gross. That is basically the worst. We do see that Jullo went ahead and got the Ice Rod now, so he's going to go ahead and finish off Turtle Rock. But it's a little too late at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he just finished 15 minutes ago. Or 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler alert.
All right. So that's putting you at 1-1 in this series. Do you guys have any idea when you might set up for the next race?
We haven't said anything, but it might be like tomorrow evening, around the same time.
All right. Looking forward to it. So what does your ideal seed look like?
Basically any seed that doesn't like excessively troll us. Cause like the seed before, Julloninja was like 10 minutes ahead, and then this I won like 15 minutes ahead. So maybe a seed where it's close would be good.
So you'd rather have one decided by, your execution at the game rather than the placement of the items.
Right.
I think that's all we can really ask for as as runners of this game.
Here, here.
All right. I am going to need to step away for just a moment, and I'll be right back. But make sure, congratulations once again, someone, and we'll be following Jullo through the rest of this run.
Alright. I'll stick around for a while.
Yeah, and so how do you feel going into the eventual deciding match, presumably, possibly tomorrow, now that you've had 2 races against your opponent here, both with opposing results here, it sounds like. Where would you say your confidence level is at advancing at this point?
I think we're pretty evenly matched, so it all depends how well we play that day. It's basically anyone's game.
Yeah, may come down to the resulting seed whose routing benefits over the other, if possible. This has certainly been a tale of 2 seeds thus far, as we see a very nice rate in time there in the credits there, as Jullo is taking care of Trinex and will be on their way to a Ganon's Tower clearance. So while we watch Jullo put the finishing touches on the seed, I would invite anyone still entertaining this race to give either of these runners a follow at this point. They have been, just being able to advance past the Swiss stage into the bracket certainly shows the level of skill that either of these runners have, and would certainly be thankful for giving them your follow. And I would also like to take this opportunity to give a shout out to Cassidy Moen for providing the tracking for this race. Thanks so much for keeping tabs for us, and really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So it looks like Jullo is electing to not go right side here, and will go right to the torch, well, where they will find the big key. Is that your go-to play? If you find a small key, you check right side practically every time, or is that just kind of a matter of how you're feeling at the moment?
Most of the time I do right side first if I find a key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that particular decision bit me this morning, and my game 2 match against Jig Heart, but that's neither here nor there at this point. So Jullo on his way towards manipulating the mimics for a quick kill here, and we'll be onwards towards a gauntlet here in the next few rooms.
Yep, I have really got to learn the consistent strategies for this gauntlet, because I keep getting bodied by BMOs.
Pretty sure there is no consistent strategy. It's all luck.
I actually meant the mimic rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a consistent strategy for that. I'm just bad.
Yeah, there's one mimics too. I found a really good strat, or not found, like, what am I finding here? I'm just copying what other people have done before me. But yeah, there's some really reliable options to go through that, to where the BMOs aren't even involved. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I basically made up my own strats for that room, and they seem to work well.
Alright, so Jullo is employing fire rod strats here in the gauntlet. Can be a little faster because there's a little less lag involved. But if you use it to kill the Zazacs, it is going to have them sit there and burn for a bit.
It is easier to aim than the bow because it shoots faster, and you can get that skeleton in the third room or fourth room.
That was an interesting little graphical glitch with the second land molas there. But did manage to get the one cycle with the silvers as well.
So where did he find half magic?
That is I am not sure. I would assume somewhere.
I'm guessing desert.
Yeah,
he went to desert.
Again, that's a guess. Unfortunately, Jullo went all over the place except for Spallow Cave, so in one of those locations, half magic was obtained.
Turtle Rock? Okay. Did you just go further on Laser Bridge or something?
That, or maybe the Vanilla Big Key chest.
Went to Vanilla Big Key. Okay.
Yep.
Right, because he was still looking for Ice Rod at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I am a smart person. Alright, so getting the refill done here. Heading up to Trolldorm 2. We'll get this taken care of soon.
By the way, so in case you were curious, Zora with a heart container. So you not taking the time to go to Zora before the Aghanim dive gave you an advantage at the time, to be sure.
Yeah, I even skipped the 300 at base game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you skip it? So did you skip Zora because you skipped the 300, or did you skip the 300 because you didn't want to go to Zora?
Yeah, I skipped the 300, and then when I didn't have enough money, I skipped Zora.
All right, so Jullo deals with Geometry Wizard, and will be flying off to the Ganon fight shortly. Once again, basically the most academic Ganon fight that exists.
Eight slashes later, we're on to phase 2. And there it was.
Wait, I blinked. What happened? Kidding. All right, Jullo taking care of phase 3. Just 1 slash per jump here. Not going to be able to get any doubles here on account of Ganon's positioning. And there we go.
GG's to Julloninja for finishing this out and finishing runner-up with an official SRTV time, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 32 seconds. That concludes game 2 of this 3-game set. Third game will be necessary with this race now knotted at 1 game apiece. GG's to Julloninja.
Absolutely. We'll see if we can get Julloninja in here to talk about the race for a little bit. Perhaps a little bit about the earlier race as well. And we are now joined by Julloninja. Congratulations on finishing, and congratulations on the earlier win.
Thank you. GG to someone.
Yeah, GG to you too.
So this is one of those weird situations where finding an item, a required item earlier than your opponent actually led to your downfall, because the finding that bombos let you make the dip into Turtle Rock, and that ice rod being where it was, that really kind of threw you off.
I thought about doing Spiral Cave, but then I figured I don't want to do that loop again, so I'll just go into Turtle Rock now and hope.
Yeah, and like we said as that was happening, we're like, this is, objectively the correct play. It's just not going to work this time.
Yeah, I had the same thought, but I figured I might as well clear out the whole thing just in case. But I was still missing a bombos at that point.
Yeah, so I mean, given the way this seed treated you, you did an excellent job routing it, and just happened to be in that one spot that trolled you. So you guys also had a race earlier, and there was not time for an interview between that one and this one. Is there anything you want to say about the earlier race? I imagine you feel better about that one.
I mean, the earlier race was fine. I mean, I didn't go into Super Bunny Cave, so I didn't get that tempered sword. So I was on Master Sword for almost the entire seed, which was almost
can't
ended
be-
up the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seed was pretty bad for me actually, since I cleared out everything before going to Agnum, and then I full cleared everything before finding Titan's Bit.
Yeah, so
It seems like we're
catfish
getting.
troll people.
It seems like the gloves are trolling us. We've had 2 seeds where we go to Dark World without the gloves.
Yeah, and this is also my second seed without finding a bomb in this cave. Did you find a bomb?
I found it just in front of the bombable wall
Dang.
this time.
I've spent a little time farming those rats there, and that allowed him to clear that out.
Jewel, I posed this question previously to someone, but so we're now 2 races into this set. Both of you guys taking a win apiece. How are you feeling? Where's your confidence, and how are you feeling going into the deciding match here in the near future?
I feel pretty good about, at least putting up a good race for the 3rd one as well, but I just don't want a 3rd Aghanim seed.
Yeah.
Something faster.
Yeah, the Aga is real today, let me tell you. Aghanim is out in force. But hopefully this won't troll you guys much later on. Hopefully you guys will get that 3rd match set up soon so we can all witness the thrilling conclusion of this match.
Boy, watch it be an Aga and pedestal seed.
Well, that would certainly be thrilling for the audience, let's put it that way.
Gosh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're the one who said it, so...
I take full blame if it happens.
All right. So is there anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap things up here today?
Well, hopefully I find a bomb and escape next match.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think you just set up for a bomb seed, but I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I'll take a 10 bomb seed. I'm fine with those.
I'm alright with those 2.
Yeah, there's some pretty consistent strats with those bombs. All right, so I want to thank someone and Julloninja once again for showing off their skills here. I want to thank our tracker, Cassidy Moen, for taking care of all the icons on the screen for us today. And of course, my co-commentator, CDV, thank you so much. I'm not going to lie, I had really kind of been looking forward to doing at least one commentator with you specifically. So,
wow, that's wow, I'm honored. That's you've left me speechless, my good man. Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and looking forward now that I'm as I said previously, I no longer have to worry about spending time trying to get ready for races. So hopefully I'll have a lot more opportunity to commentate with you and others as we get forward through this bracket phase. And I'll be really interested to see how the 3rd match of this series ends up, as well as many others in the round of 128 as we get full speed ahead to the next phases of this bracket phase. I wish the both of you the best of luck going forward, and thanks again, Doc, for commentating. This has been a blast.
absolutely. So I believe there's probably still a match going on over on Speed Gaming between Vulcan and Wheeler J. Bradley. But other than that, this will be the last run for the night. And we'll be coming back starting tomorrow at about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And for all of your rando action, make sure to follow the Speed Gaming channels and the ALTTP Randomizer channels. Make sure you don't miss anything. Now, of course, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, there are several people involved who entertained your eyeballs, specifically these runners.
Hey.
And the best way to support these runners is to give them a follow here on Twitch, and we would all appreciate it. So, with that, I think it's about time to wrap things up, so I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic.
This has been CDB.
And we'll see you later.
Have a good night, y'all.